Hello, everyone. My name is Evan Camlett, and I'm the co-owner of TierNet, as well as the sole owner of H4Y Technologies. I first got into this line of work at 16 years old and founded H4Y when I was about 19 years old. First, I'll give a brief summary of what it is that we do, and then I'll cover what I think might be the most popular questions, and then I'll turn it over and take questions from you. And though we have different brands with slightly different market targets, both companies I operate are considered hosting service providers. What is hosting? When you use your mobile phone or tablet or PC to download your email, view a website, or even to chat with friends, you are the client connecting to a server. We provide the networking, infrastructure, hardware, power, and space for these servers, which live inside fancy data centers with big fat internet connections, climate controlled, dust free environments, and lots of redundancy in various locations throughout the country. Specifically, these locations include Charlotte, North Carolina, Dallas, Texas, Las Vegas, Nevada, Los Angeles, California, Monticello, Iowa, Bend, Oregon, Ashburn, Virginia, the so-called data center capital of the world, Staten Island, and Latham, New York. On the screen here, I've got hostforyourself.com. This is one of the brands, so I actually operate a few of these brands. This is iWeb Fusion. This is TierNet, which is the fastest growing brand, and this is iCloud Fusion, which is our entry into the cloud hosting marketplace. And this one is brand new, and I'm really excited about it, actually. We employ local staff to perform on-site, otherwise known as remote hands work. This includes physically rack mounting servers that we ship in from suppliers like Supermicro or Dell, diagnosing hardware problems, cabling, and working on network equipment. However, one of our primary goals is to automate as much as we can. And the more we can automate, the more management we can do from a central or remote location, aka Network Operations Center, and the more control we have to fix problems at 2 a.m. in the morning rather than sending in a physical human, which would by nature be slower and less precise. Our simplest product is called shared hosting, which is similar to what you might get from GoDaddy, a name that might be familiar to you and one of our largest competitors. They are famous for their Super Bowl ads, for example. Shared hosting, also known as web hosting in general, is a low-price subscription service that makes it simple to get your own domain name, website, and email. It comes prepackaged with many features that a webmaster might want to use. The clients control it with an easy-to-use control panel. So we are a cPanel partner, and I'm going to show you cPanel real quick. So this is what one of our clients would see. And this is what we provide for them to be able to manage their website. They can set up backups. They can configure their databases. They can add email accounts. They can look at site statistics. And they have a lot of options for all of this stuff. So it's a pretty intuitive interface, but it has plenty of options here. You can, within one click, install several different very popular software packages. There are actually hundreds of them to choose from. WordPress is one that you may have heard of. So we've also got for iCloud Fusion, this is an example of some of the running virtual machines where we can administer them. So these control panels are very important to us and something that us and our customers use every day. The products we sell are mostly aimed at businesses or IT professionals, but individual consumers also utilize our services. We essentially rent our servers in full or in part. Renting the entire server is generally termed dedicated server or bare metal server. We also use virtualization to segment one server into virtual machines, as you can see here. Additionally, we are getting into the cloud hosting world by offering virtual machines as part of a larger infrastructure cluster. These physical or virtual machines are often used for web hosting, database hosting, email hosting, game server hosting like Minecraft, or hundreds of other roles. We provide the server and the tools to access it, and the client chooses to do what they want with it, or they can also choose to pay us to help manage and administer it. So where do you come in? If your primary interest is in programming or coding, especially if you're interested in languages like PHP, Python, or Perl, there's heavy use of this in our industry at many levels. Let me give you some examples. Control panels. The control panel I've just shown you, cPanel, is actually written in Python. Much of it is open source, meaning that the coding is available and easily modified. There are competing control panels, and Python is usually the go-to language used to code these panels. There's no limit as to what you can do to customize or create your own control panels in Python or similar languages. Several well-known control panels exist for both Linux and Windows operating systems. So right here, I've got, let's see, a Python script that cPanel uses. This is built right in. If you launch cPanel on a Linux server, then a number of the scripts it comes with, as well as the actual skeleton and the structure of the control panel itself, is all coded in Python. So here you have a script that is essentially used to fix user permissions. Okay, so we've got what sort of applications can you use Python for in my industry? Web applications. Most of today's Linux-based web applications, such as WordPress, are written in PHP, but there are plenty that are written in Python as well. Languages from C to C# to Java are used for web applications running on Linux and Windows servers. If, as a business owner, I have a need for a web-based application development, I will use a freelance talent search service such as Upwork.com to find qualified web application developers. From your side, newbie developers can search for a job with a well-known company, but many individuals choose to do freelance work. Those that are good at what they do have never-ending demand and can make a very good living in either case. Automation. As I previously explained, automation is king in our industry. Everything from server deployment to server administration and maintenance to alerts and monitoring to software upgrades to mass configuration changes to billing systems to client portals and user interfaces to abuse detection and mitigation benefits from automation. This automation is often achieved using programming language like Python or scripting languages like Linux-based Bash. For example, we may want to use a script or app to detect denial of service attacks against client websites and mitigate them automatically, or detect failed hardware on our servers and notify us before it causes downtime to our clients. So right here is just a little Bash script that I use to essentially page my phone. It'll send a text message to me if this is installed on a server, if the server's disk space fills up, or if any of these sites stop responding, then it will actually send me text messages over and over and over, usually to the major disruption of my wife when she's trying to sleep if it happens at 2 a.m. So why should you be interested in this field? When I was your age, I was more interested in getting in trouble and chasing girls than concentrating on high school. However, I naturally never strayed from my interest and fascination with technology. Luckily, in my case, employers in this field tend to look at the whole picture when it comes to degrees versus experience versus competency. I was able to go much further with it than I may have if the entry level required more degrees or academics. In my case, I wanted to do my own thing and be independent. It is something you can learn on your own or in class, or even better, both. There are great computer science programs at top universities in this country, and it is also something you can do yourself, by yourself, and there is no limit as to where you can go with it regardless. I get a lot of satisfaction doing what I do because my line of work affects just about everyone. My companies host hundreds of thousands of domains that millions or billions of everyday people access. Web hosting, cloud hosting, and the related products are on the forefront of technology and therefore change rapidly. Everyone in the world who connects to a website or an email account needs a server on the other end. The market is forever growing, especially in developing countries around the world. Our clients come from almost every industry and everywhere in the world. If you enjoy cutting edge technology and an ever evolving industry, this field is for you. All of these lines of work, of course, are very stable even during the crazy coronavirus times we're living in due to the simple ability to work from home. The only real requirement is internet access, and you can work from anywhere. I do have one tip though. I've tried many times to work while vacationing or fishing or camping or boating, and I've discovered that I either do one thing correctly or the other, but not both. If I work and fish, I'll either catch no fish or get no work done. It's just what happens. Just one potential perk that sometimes isn't as great as it sounds in practice. And now I will go ahead and take questions. Thank you.